Episodes that don't see the light of day. I did an interview. I went out to a pub and did an interview with a guest that had come in from England to Orlando. And I was like, this is going to be a good interview, because he's done a lot of this and a lot of that, blah, 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 blah. This ought to be very cool. I went out, took my handy-dandy Zoom, got out there, had a few pints, got the interview, took it back, and listened to it, and I was like, I'm not going to put this on my I just, it didn't, something about it. And I tried editing it down a little bit, but with the interview, you want to sort of, take the embarrassing stuff and get it out. But, I was like, just something about it just did not swing with me, and I just shelved it. And there's some other stuff that we've done that I've just shelved because it just didn't flow quite right. So, but it's really interesting when you go back and listen to your earlier podcasts. And then, like, something that you just recently did, and go, God, thank God, we've gotten, beyond ourselves. And it helps a lot. It helps a lot because, when you're listening to yourself, when you're editing, and you're listening to yourself, you learn so much about your speech pattern, and you just want to, keep improving on it. And that's pretty much it,
One other thing, I think that I really, really like that makes you keep going, makes you excited. And for me, it's the sort of the breadth of the fans, the sort of the whole international scope of it. We've got fans in Madagascar, Reunion, which is a small island in the Indian Ocean, and I don't really know exactly where it is, but I think they get food delivered by plane. And we've got friends in China and France and everywhere. Well, that's not everywhere, but it's a large proportion of the globe, and I find that absolutely incredible. That you can actually reach out to people who are literally in every country, and some of them aren't even censored by their regimes. It's really amazing because Doctor Who is such a. I think it really speaks to people's hearts. I think that Craig Dewberry Watson was right when he said it's sort of about intellect and romance, and that's a language that everybody all over the world can speak. And it's great that we can communicate our love for the programme to everyone, and that's what I would say.
Oh, okay. Actually, this chap right here, I had a question first.
How do you handle file size versus audio quality and vice versa?
We don't. Maybe the moderator can answer that question.
Yeah, maybe the moderator could.
What, the file size? I'm just the moderator. This is James, we'll go through it.
Yeah, you touched earlier on positive feedback, and I think that's great. It's one of the reasons why we all get into podcasting, because it's a good buzz when you get positive feedback. But how many of you in your first year have received some negative feedback, and how have you dealt with that?
I think we've only received about 3 pieces of feedback. Which means
Everybody loves you.
Yeah, everybody loves you.
It's just me. It's just negative feedback.
It's good for you to get negative feedback because as long as it's like negative feedback with some sort of basis.
No, it's not basis at all.
We just want to get it right back and say, fuck yeah. There's so many podcasts out there. Find something else that you like that's going to play your boat because I'm sure you're going to find some little niche that's going to be a podcast for. So.
Our next door neighbour said, you're too nice, you need to start dissing it a bit more, and we said, get lost. Then TARDIS Tavern, anybody here from TARDIS Tavern?
Yeah.
Woo! Hello! They said, we hate you, you're too good. That's not really negative, but thank you.
One more quick one. You have any? Oh.
Just to let you know.
What's that?
You have about 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, one more quick one from you, Sean. Now.
For those of you who don't edit, do you listen to the podcast after it's released? Do you listen to yourself?
Gosh. No. We listen to our podcasts and try to do better each time. And it's very true. When the first time you hear yourself speak, it's a frightening experience because you clue on to all the verbal tics you have, the uhs, the ums, the stutters, the sentences that don't seem to go anywhere, like this one. And then you start. But you also want to be careful that you don't over-censor yourself and you start talking too artificially, where you're not being yourself. And so trying to find that dividing line between a pleasant experience for the listener, balanced with doing what it is you want to do and how you would normally speak, and having that personality is I think sort of the trick for unedited podcasts.
I have a problem when I am editing. I learned this about myself, and it's probably some crazy medical condition, but I, very often when I'm editing, I will sit there and I will say, which one of the three of us said that sentence? And I don't know why I can't tell our voices apart when I'm listening to it, and it's like, this was just said an hour ago. Why do I not remember who said it? But that's the main reason why I hate editing, because I realize that, yeah.
Well, we'll probably have to wrap it up. So maybe just one last time to tell everyone here where you can find yourselves on the web, starting with you, Denise.
Little Finish, we are littlefinish.blogspot.com, and we're also on Twitter, just Little Finish, one word.
Okay. We are the Untepid Schism podcast. We are at www.untepidschism.org. We are on iTunes, and you can find us on Twitter at Schism Podcast.
I can never remember this to say it at the end of our one, but we're at theootcast.com, and Chris is going to go and stand at the back now.
He's got his orders. You've got him well trained.
Do pick up one of these if you haven't heard us before on your way out, and you'll find everything you need to know about us on there. Thank you.
You can find us at mutterspiral.wordpress.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. Unfortunately, someone had already taken the Mutters Spiral with 2 S's on Twitter, so we're Mutters Spiral with 1 S. So you can find us there, and we're on iTunes. Just search under Mutters Spiral.
We're on Twitter at Pharos Project, iTunes, Zoom, the fuck that is. And I think it's the Pharos Project at .libsyn.com.
Yeah, well, we're Happiness Patrol. You can find us on, go to iTunes, it's the easiest way. Look under podcast, Happiness Patrol podcast, not the episode, mind you. And then, we got our blog spot at, hang on, happinesspatrol.blogspot.com, the.happiness.patrol@gmail.com. Send us some feedback at all. Twitter.com, the H Patrol. The H Patrol. That's the Happiness Patrol is already taken.
And of course, you can find them all at the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.org is the main website. A big hand for all our podcasts.